Lillard used to be one of the top players in fantasy basketball. When I tell you, he always went in the first round, and he pretty much always produced on a first round level. Those days are over.
What you talking about, Wallace?
However, there's still some very, very high value in having Damian Lillard on your fantasy basketball squad. And I think a lot of fantasy managers out there are missing the mark in terms of where they have Dame ranked. In this episode, I'm going to tell you why Damian Lillard needs to be on your roster, and we'll also talk about some buy lows and sell highs. We believe every NBA fan that plays fantasy football should also play fantasy basketball. If it's your first time here, I am Robin Marks, your personal fantasy basketball analyst. Throughout my career, I've spent some time at NBC Sports. I used to work with #basketball, and now I'm here to work for you. So Damian Lillard has been that guy in fantasy basketball, right? But over the last couple of years, specifically since he's arrived in Milwaukee, we've seen a bit of a regression in terms of his production, but also the way he's being viewed by the fantasy community. So people didn't want to draft him in the first round. He kind of fell into that back end of the second round, and some would argue that he will continue to regress year to year. I think that this season might be the season that we get the last bit of gas in the tank from Damian Lillard, and he might be the player to help you win your fantasy basketball championships. Right now, Damian Lillard is ranked number 32 over the last 7 days, according to Yahoo Standard Points League rankings. But on the season, he's ranked 23. So although it's a small margin, and some might disagree, I think this is a buy low opportunity for Damian Lillard. He is slightly underperforming over the last 7 days, and somebody in your league is going to look at his track record in terms of his availability. He's been banged up at certain points of the season. I believe he also had a recent streak of games that he missed, and this could be an opportunity to bring him back to your squad. Now, one of the reasons I think he's going to really produce is because Giannis is performing at an elite level right now. And I think that Chris Middleton moving to the bench, and it's clear that he's not really a factor in terms of that big three model that they wanted to build, that it's a Batman and Robin type situation. And I think Damian Lillard is going to show up and show out in the second half of the season. And he can very well be the type of player that could lead you to your fantasy basketball championship. So for that reason, I am buying low. I'm trying to see if I could take a Donovan Mitchell type player and get me a Damian Lillard to see if I could get him on my roster right now. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about BetOnline. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. The next player I want to talk about is someone who just came back from an injury, was honestly one of the top producers for the few games that he played early on in the season, and now he's in a bit of a slump. I'm talking about from the Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero. Paolo, over the last 7 days, is ranked number 83. Let that sink in. But on the season, he's ranked number 17. Over the last 7 days, Paolo is averaging 21 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists, no steals, 0.7 blocks, and check this out, y'all. This is crazy. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 5 turnovers per game. That's crazy, y'all. But check this out. On a season, Paolo is averaging 26.6 6.9 points per game. Yes. 7.6 rebounds. Come on. 4.8 assists. Yes. 0.6 steals, 0.8 blocks, and 3.2 turnovers per game. He might really need to get back into the swing of things. He missed a bunch of games with that abdominal injury, and he's probably just trying to get back up to speed. So the big gap between 21 a game that he's averaging over the last 7 days to his season average of 26.9, that's a huge gap. And I imagine that he will close that gap over the next couple of weeks. But you might be able to convince one of your league mates, the Paolo Banchero manager, that he's going to be stinking up the joint. And you need to take advantage of it by sending him an offer. The next buy low opportunity that we have here is somebody that, honestly, man, I was really high on, but they really haven't brought it home this year. I'm talking about from the Houston Rockets, Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet is ranked number 96 over the last 7 days. He's ranked number 68 on the season. This stinks, y'all. Check this out. This is hot dog water with the bratwurst residue. I'm just saying. Over the last 7 days, Freddie is averaging 11.3 points per game. Yuck. 2.3 rebounds. Ugh. 6.7 assists, not bad. 1.7 steals, not bad. 0.3 blocks, we didn't expect anything there. And 1.3 turnovers per game. I don't give a shih tzu puppy. I think Fred VanVleet is valuable. And if his season rankings show him at 68 and he's 96 right now over the last 7 days, I think you can take advantage of this situation. The next player we want to take a look at is OG Anunoby from the New York Knicks. Come on, man. Listen, I was high on OG, and OG's been performing pretty good. But over the last week, he's been stinking up the joint. Over the last 7 days, OG is ranked number 123 according to Yahoo Standard Points League rankings. Over the last 7 days, he's at 123, but on the season, he's number 90. So he's inside the top 100, which is good. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 14 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 0.8 steals, and about a half a block a game. OG Anunoby is that dude for fantasy. Don't get me wrong. He's not a superstar. He's not going to be like the main feature. But one thing about him, his floor is very, very valuable. For a points league, you're going to get some points from him. He's not the type of player that's going to leave you with the -6, right? You know, with OG, you're going to get that 25, that 30 fantasy points consistently. And when he goes off, it's really good. So for me, this little slump, this ranked 123 over the last 7 days, come on, man. I believe in OG, and I think he'll do better than this. The next buy low candidate we want to talk about is from the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are having an amazing, historic run, right? They are killing it this season. The big man, Jarrett Allen. Over the last 7 days, according to Yahoo Points League rankings, he is 114th, y'all. Stinking up the joint. On the season, he's number 71. Over the last 7 days, Jarrett Allen is averaging 13.5 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 0.3 steals, 0.8 blocks, and 1.3 turnovers per game. I know Evan Mobley was banged up, and you would expect that Jarrett Allen, when healthy and Mobley out, he would eat and take advantage of it. It wasn't the case. And honestly, I think the way Kenny Atkinson is kind of leading that squad, it's individual stats are not a priority. Really what it's about is developing strong chemistry, but also making sure that guys are refreshed and rested in terms of the amount of minutes that they're playing. Donovan Mitchell playing less minutes than he's played in years. And I think for a player like Jarrett Allen, who thrives when he gets the minutes, that could be a part of the situation that's causing him to have this slump. But I think the biggest thing we want to pay attention to is his season rankings. Him at 71, way inside the top 100, knowing that this 114 might be like an outlier week or two. If you can get him on your squad during this little run of stinkiness, I think that you make that move every day, all day, every day, and tomorrow. Really quick, I have something special to talk to you guys about, something we don't typically do. Honestly, I don't remember ever doing something like this. And the reason we're doing it is because we are in very strange times. We had a huge event in California, in LA, with the fires in the Palisades. And as you know, I'm deeply connected in the fantasy sports community. And one of our brothers, Dan Bespris, lives in that area. So I sent Dan a text and I was like, Dan, what can I do to help? Is there anything we can help with? And he said, listen, man, honestly, it's really kind of you. But the one thing that we do need help with is we're trying to help rebuild my kid's school. So we're sending prayers and positive energy to everyone over there. But it's heartbreaking to think about, I have 2 kids, my kids losing their school because of a natural disaster. So we are today encouraging you, if you can, find it in your heart, to donate money to help rebuild the school for Dan's kids. And if you want to check Dan out, I think he did a live stream last week trying to raise money for the school. And that's at Old Man Squad Network on YouTube, on X, on Instagram. You can find him everywhere. Dan Bespris. That's DanBesbris. And to donate, all you have to do is visit bit.ly/rebuild the school. That's bit.ly/rebuild the school. And you can support our brother of the fantasy basketball community, Dan Bespris. Next up, we're going to talk about some sell highs. The first sell high I want to take a look at is Malik Monk. Over the last 7 days, Malik Monk is ranked number 28 according to Yahoo Points League rankings. 28? Let me get a sip of my drink. Oh, my God. That is wild. You know what we say? Top is off, boobies is out, hair blowing in the frickin' wind. Your man is cooking with hot bacon grease. I'm just saying. Malik Monk, number 28 over the last 7 days, but on the season, only number 72. Still really good, but this is a crazy increase. Over the last 7, he's averaging 22 points per game. Yes, 5.5 rebounds. Come on. 9 assists per game. It don't get much better than this. 1.5 steals. And no blocks, 2 turnovers. Your man is killing it. I'm just saying. The glaze is otherworldly. I have him on my roster right now. And I am definitely looking at some of my league mates to see what kind of moves I can make to move him off of my squad to bring back an upgrade. Excuse me. So I'm selling high on Malik Monk all day, every day, and tomorrow. The next player we want to talk about for Yahoo Points Leagues is ranked number 30 over the last 7 days. But on the season, he is ranked 139. I'm talking about your man's in them, Sterling, Scoot Henderson. Over the last 7 days, 25.3 points per game. Come on. 3.7 rebounds. Yes. And check this out. Over the last 7 days, Scoot Henderson is averaging 7.7 assists per game at the time of recording this episode. Come on, man. And there's more. Come close. 1.3 steals per game, and there's one more. Over the last 7 days, your man Scoot is averaging 1 block per game. Come on, man. That is aggressive work. I'm just saying. I'm selling high on Scoot Henderson all day, every day. Do I think he will maintain top 30 value? I do not. I don't think he'll stay in the 139 area, though. I think he can get into 110, maybe even break the top 100 if he's finding his rhythm. But I'm trying to get rid of him like a hotcake right now. So if I could move him, because he was on a waiver wire a couple of weeks ago, I'm making that move quick, fast, in a hurry. The next player we want to talk about has also spent some time on the waiver wire this season from the ever-resting Utah Jazz, Keyonte George. Keyonte George is ranked number 37 over the last 7 days for Yahoo Points Leagues, 102 on the season. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 26 points per game. Woo! 4 rebounds. Come on. 4.5 assists, 1.5 steals, a half a block, and a half a turnover a game. Your man is doing it and doing it well. But I don't know if this will last. And also, I have so many concerns around the Jazz. I was on the hilltop during the offseason. Do not draft Lauri Markkanen. Stay away from him. Stay away from Jazz players. We knew that it was going to be crazy, but I didn't think it was going to be this crazy, y'all. They be like, yo, the injury report, we got a hangnail. Your man is going to be out for 2 weeks. It's crazy. So I'm not messing with Keyonte George long-term. Maybe in Dynasty I would consider it, but for redraft leagues, I am out on Keyonte George. So for that reason, I'm trying to sell high. Before we talk about our next players, I want to talk to you guys about something very special. Are you ready for the chance of a lifetime? OwnersBox is giving you the ultimate opportunity to turn your daily fantasy game into the experience of a lifetime. Here's what's up for grabs. Grand prize, a trip for 2 to the Super Bowl, including $5,000 for travel or spending, plus accommodations, an incredible package valued at $31,000. It's very simple. Every $10 you spend on OwnersBox, you have an entry into the grand prize. But it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it ends quick. On January 27th, they will have the drawing, so act now. To sign up, hit the link in the description of this episode or visit bit.ly/OwnersBox500. You support the show, but also, if you're signing up for the first time, you'll be eligible for up to $500 in bonus bets. So a ticket to the Super Bowl, $500 in bonus bets. It just don't get much better than this. Again, visit bit.ly/OwnersBox500. That's bit.ly/OwnersBox, the number 500. The next sell high player I want to talk about is Mark Williams. Mark Williams has been going off, y'all. Like, it's crazy. You won't believe where he's ranked. You won't believe where he's ranked for the Yahoo Points League rankings. Like, when I saw it, I was like, I was like rubbing my eyes. Is this real? Did somebody like drug me? Like, what the heck? Did somebody put some peyote in my tea? Like, I'm seeing doubles. Your man, Mark Williams, is ranked number 4 over the last 7 days. Let that sink in. On the season, he's ranked number 75. He was banged up at the beginning of the season, and he's coming back with the fury right now. So for me, Nick Richards was recently moved to Phoenix. So now it's just a clear runway and path for Mark Williams. If you didn't know, when he was in college, he was a defensive juggernaut. He was a beast. He used to put up numbers. I believe he even got ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Let's check that. Fact check me on that. But I'm pretty confident he won an award as a freshman in the ACC. I believe he played for Duke. So listen, man, this is not a fluke. I think the guy is valuable. Top 75 makes sense. Number 4, come on, man. He ain't Anthony Davis. He not Giannis. Come on now. He not the Joker. He's not going to stay in that position. But you could send that screenshot to one of your league mates and let them know, like, hey, listen, I got Mark Williams. Maybe I throw you that Malik Monk too. Bada bing, bada boom. And you make a deal. Before you know it, you've upgraded tremendously for your team. If you love this community and you want to invest in what we're building, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. Think of it like treating me to a coffee and bagel once a month. Becoming a paid subscriber will grant you access to our MVP Discord channel, priority DM and email replies, and priority Rate My Team videos. And most importantly, your support will help us to keep creating content. You're not obligated or expected to pay anything to be a part of this community, but there are expenses associated with running this operation, and your support will help us keep this thing going for years to come. To get started, visit BelieveInFantasy.com, enter your email, and select the level of support that works best for you. And one more way that you can support, just be a two-way player, play offense and defense. On offense, you watch the YouTube version of this episode, you subscribe, you like, comment, all of that good stuff, share, right? And on defense, for defense, we need you to listen to the audio version of this podcast. It means a lot to us. That is a free way that you can support our channel. Now check out this episode so you can find out about ways that you can improve your roster today. This episode was presented to you by BetOnline.